In a universe so vast, so seemingly infinite, for millennia, we have asked one question: are we alone? Today, that question has finally been answered. We are not alone. There is life out there, and NASA just discovered it. Just months ago, they confirmed what they have long suspected but never had proof of: a new planet teeming with life. This discovery changes everything. It started with a signal, something subtle, something that almost went unnoticed. A faint, irregular blip from deep space, 15 light years away in the Proxima 42 system. At first, it was just a curiosity, a strange anomaly that could easily be explained away by cosmic noise. But then they noticed something, a repeating pattern, something artificial. They trained every instrument they had on this signal, and that's when they saw it: a planet orbiting a distant star. This planet, now known as Novus, is almost the size of Earth, sitting within its star's habitable zone, which means it could support liquid water and possibly life. But nothing could have prepared them for what they found next. Novus isn't just another rocky planet, it's alive. As NASA gathered more data, they began to analyze Novus's atmosphere. What they found was stunning. Not only does Novus have an atmosphere similar to Earth's, with nitrogen and oxygen, but there's evidence of complex weather patterns, oceans, and vegetation. The data suggests that this planet could very well be capable of sustaining life as they know it. There's one thing that stands out more than anything else. Novus isn't just capable of sustaining life, it has life. They've detected chemical signatures in the atmosphere that are indicative of biological activity: methane, oxygen fluctuations, and other gases that suggest living organisms are present. But it gets stranger. The first time they saw Novus from space, they knew this planet was unlike anything they'd ever encountered. From their satellites in orbit, the planet presents a breathtaking sight, a world of contrasts and mesmerizing colors. Novus is alive with movement and light, as if the very surface of the planet pulses in response to its unique atmosphere and energy field. From space, Novus isn't just another blue and green planet like Earth. It's a symphony of colors, many of which they've never seen on such a large scale before. The most striking feature is the iridescent shimmer that covers large portions of the planet, particularly along the equator, where the forests are densest and the atmospheric light effects are strongest. At first glance, the planet's vast oceans appear similar to Earth's, but they have a deeper, more reflective quality. The oceans shift between deep blues and emerald greens, almost as if they're reflecting the sky in real time, creating a shimmering effect. In certain regions, the water looks nearly black, giving it a mysterious depth that seems to absorb light rather than reflect it. The planet's atmosphere interacts with its star in fascinating ways. Near the poles, the atmosphere takes on a golden hue, while closer to the equator, it transitions into deep purples and violets. These colors are not static. They seem to pulse and ripple, shifting as the planet rotates and its atmosphere reacts to the energy field generated by the pulse. Above the surface, thick, swirling cloud formations dominate the sky. But unlike the white clouds they're familiar with, these clouds are tinted with shades of lavender, copper, and green, creating a surreal, otherworldly look. The clouds also appear to have unusual layers, with higher altitudes producing shimmering halos of light around the planet. One of the most remarkable features visible from orbit is the bioluminescent forests. These vast, glowing expanses can be seen clearly on the night side of the planet, lighting up the landscape like a living web of light. The trees and plants on Novus seem to absorb energy during the day and release it at night in the form of soft, radiant light. From a satellite's perspective, these forests appear to form intricate, organic patterns, almost like neural pathways, stretching across entire continents. The glow varies in intensity depending on the region, but in some places the forests shine so brightly that they can even outshine the reflected light from the planet's moons. It's believed that the bioluminescence isn't just for show. These forests may be part of a larger, living network, connected to the pulse that sustains all life on Novus. The light seems to follow a rhythm, pulsing slowly in sync with the energy field that they've detected across the planet. These living lights also appear to communicate with one another, perhaps sharing resources or information about environmental changes. Novus isn't just a planet of water and forests. Its landforms are equally captivating, shaped by forces that they're only beginning to understand. From space, the planet's geography is revealed in stunning detail, with massive mountain ranges that stretch across entire continents, many of them glowing with a faint light due to mineral deposits and the influence of the pulse. The mountain ranges on Novus are jagged, towering structures, some of them rising higher than anything they have on Earth. Many of these peaks are laced with luminescent minerals that glow at night, creating an eerie yet beautiful spectacle. Satellite images show glowing veins of energy running through these mountains, which may indicate that the pulse runs particularly strong in these regions. They've also observed landforms that defy easy explanation, strange, organic-looking structures that rise up from the ground in spirals or domes. From space, these formations almost resemble coral reefs, but they span hundreds of miles across Nova's surface. These could be naturally occurring geological formations, or they could be related to the planet's life forms, shaped by whatever processes the planet uses to maintain its ecosystem. Further satellite scans have revealed deep crater-like structures across the planet, many of which are filled with reflective liquids. These structures aren't impact craters. Instead, they appear to be sinkholes or ancient lakes, perhaps connected to the planet's underground energy systems. Some of these craters glow faintly from within, hinting at active geothermal or bioenergy processes deep below the surface. One of Nova's most mesmerizing features is its mirror oceans. These massive bodies of water stretch across much of the planet, and from space they appear almost reflective, hence the name. The oceans are so calm and glass-like that they mirror the sky and clouds above them perfectly, creating a surreal, almost dreamlike effect. From orbit, they can see that the oceans aren't just reflective during the day, they also glow faintly at night. This may be due to the bioluminescent organisms living beneath the surface, or perhaps the water itself is infused with the planet's unique energy. Whatever the cause, the oceans of Novus seem to shimmer with an inner light that adds to the planet's ethereal beauty. Satellite images have also revealed unusual currents in the oceans, rivers of light that flow beneath the surface. These light currents may be part of the pulse's influence, spreading energy across the planet, but they've yet to understand their full significance. What's clear is that Novus's oceans are more than just bodies of water. They're integral to the planet's living system, possibly even alive in some way. One of the most mysterious features NASA observed from satellite imagery is what they're calling energy waves. These waves of light ripple across the surface of the planet in perfect harmony with the pulse. They're most visible at night when they move across the land and oceans, lighting up the landscape in rhythmic patterns. From orbit, these energy waves look like ripples on the surface of a pond, but they're much more organized. They travel in concentric circles or sweeping arcs, covering vast distances in a matter of minutes. These waves may be related to the planet's core or the pulse itself, but as of now, their purpose remains unknown. As these waves pass over forests, oceans, and mountains, they seem to trigger a reaction. The plants and animals on Novus respond in subtle ways. Trees sway, plants brighten, and bioluminescent organisms become more active. From space, it looks like the planet is breathing, with these waves acting as its heartbeat. Novus is orbited by 3 moons, each of which plays a significant role in shaping the planet's tides, weather, and possibly even the pulse. From space, the interaction between these moons and Novus creates stunning visual phenomena. The largest moon, Ceres, creates vast tidal shifts across Novus's oceans, pulling water in dramatic waves that can be seen from orbit. The other 2 moons, smaller and faster moving, appear to have more subtle effects, possibly influencing the planet's energy fields or atmospheric patterns. What's most intriguing is how the moons seem to affect the pulse. As the moons align or move into certain positions, they've observed fluctuations in the pulse's strength, as if the gravitational forces are amplifying or disrupting the energy field that flows through the planet. This relationship between Novus and its moons may hold the key to understanding how the pulse operates on a larger scale. Novus is also home to a natural light show unlike any seen on Earth, the Novus auroras. These auroras aren't confined to the polar regions like on Earth, but occur all across the planet, filling the skies with vibrant displays of light that seem to ripple in time with the pulse. Imagine standing on a mountain range, surrounded by glowing forests, while overhead the sky dances with ribbons of neon green, violet, and blue. They believe these auroras are caused by the interaction between the ionized particles in Novus's middle atmosphere and the planet's magnetosphere, which is also influenced by the pulse. However, unlike Earth's auroras, which occur due to solar wind, these seem more rhythmic, suggesting that the pulse has a significant role in controlling the flow of energy through the atmosphere. In certain regions, particularly over the vast mirror oceans, the auroras seem to never end. They are a constant phenomenon, as if the planet's atmosphere is constantly in motion, generating light and energy in ways that are still unknown to us. Novus's weather systems are another mystery they're still trying to understand. While the planet has rain, wind, and cloud formations like Earth, its storms are a sight to behold. Novus experiences massive electrical storms, but the lightning isn't like anything they've ever seen. Instead of bright, jagged bolts, the lightning seems to spread in smooth, shimmering arcs across the sky, almost as if the energy is diffused by the charged atmosphere. What's most interesting about these storms is how they interact with the pulse. As storms gather strength, they've observed massive energy surges across the planet, often visible as waves of light rippling across the landscape. These energy storms are particularly active near mountain ranges and over the oceans, where they may be responsible for redistributing energy across Novus. Another unique weather phenomenon they've observed is what they're calling ionized rain. During these energy storms, the rain itself seems to carry an electrical charge, causing the plants and ground to glow faintly after rainfall. The locals, assuming there's intelligent life here, may even harness these storms for energy. This is purely speculation for now, but it's something they're looking into. Novus is a water-rich planet with vast oceans that cover almost 60% of its surface. But these aren't ordinary oceans. The water on Novus has a slightly different composition, more viscous than water on Earth, which may explain why the surface of the oceans appears glassy, almost reflective. This creates a mesmerizing effect where the sky seems to blend with the water, making it difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins. At night, these oceans come alive with phosphorescence. They've observed glowing plankton-like organisms that light up the waves, creating trails of light as they move through the water. This bioluminescence seems to be directly linked to the pulse, almost as if the oceans themselves are generating energy in tandem with the land. There are also strong, unpredictable currents in certain regions of the oceans. Some of these currents seem to follow a pattern, while others seem almost random. They've hypothesized that these currents may be tied to the planet's magnetic field or even its core, which could be generating the pulse. Further exploration will tell them more. The most mysterious aspect of Novus's atmosphere is its interaction with the pulse. They've observed areas where the pulse appears to condense, forming what they can only describe as energy clouds. These clouds pulse with light and seem to move with purpose, almost like living entities. Whether they are life forms or simply a natural atmospheric phenomenon, they can't yet say. In addition to energy clouds, there are massive energy waves that ripple through the sky at certain intervals, likely driven by fluctuations in the planet's core. These waves may be a form of natural energy transfer between the atmosphere and the land. When they pass overhead, the surface below reacts. The trees sway, the ground seems to hum, and even the oceans respond. As NASA continue to study Novus's atmosphere, they're constantly discovering new and remarkable phenomena. It's clear that this planet operates under rules and systems they're only beginning to understand. The interplay between the pulse, the weather, and the atmosphere makes Novus a living, breathing world in ways that are unlike anything they've ever seen before. But the more they uncover, the more questions they have. This is just the beginning. They've only just begun to explore Novus, but early data from their space probes suggests something extraordinary. The surface of the planet is unlike anything they've seen before. Vast forests, some of them glowing in the twilight, and strange towering structures that don't seem to be naturally formed. But most shocking of all, they've detected movement, patterns of movement that aren't just the wind or water. Something is alive down there. It's hard to believe, but all indications point to intelligent life. They don't yet know what form it takes, whether it's animals, plants, or something entirely different. But the data is clear. Something is moving, something is active, and it seems to be organized. So far, NASA has been able to piece together a few key details about life on Novus. From what they have observed, this planet is home to a wide variety of organisms. They've detected different forms of movement, some of them slow and deliberate, almost plant-like, while others are fast, possibly predatory. The plant life on Novus appears to be bioluminescent, meaning that many of the forests glow in the planet's eternal twilight. These plants could use some form of chemical or electrical energy to survive, perhaps drawing on the planet's unique atmosphere or even its core. But it's not just plants. They've picked up faint, rhythmic vibrations from deep beneath the surface, almost like the planet itself is alive, pulsing with energy. Could this be some kind of life force connecting the organisms on Novus? It's too early to tell, but the theory is gaining momentum. One of the strangest phenomena they've detected is something they're calling the pulse. It's a low-frequency energy field that appears to blanket the entire planet. This pulse interacts with the atmosphere, the landscape, and possibly the life forms themselves. It's as if the entire planet is linked by this invisible force, guiding the movements of the creatures and even influencing the weather. They don't know yet what causes the pulse, but they do know that it plays a critical role in sustaining life on Novus. It's almost as if the planet itself is alive, and everything living on it is connected through this pulse. NASA also detected what appears to be intelligent life, although they've had no direct contact. From high-resolution images, they've observed figures, tall, slender, and moving with a purpose. These figures seem to be clustered in certain regions of the planet, perhaps indicating the presence of settlements or communities. They're calling them the Alvaran, though this is purely a placeholder name. They've seen them move in groups, and their movements are incredibly synchronized, almost as if they're communicating through the pulse. But they don't know yet if they've seen their probes or if they even recognize them as sentient beings. The structures they've seen appear to be organic, not built in the way they construct buildings, but grown, perhaps shaped by the Alvaran themselves using the pulse. They don't yet understand how this works, but it's clear that these beings have a deep connection with their planet and the life around them. While they've made some incredible discoveries, there is so much they still don't know. They haven't yet figured out how life evolved on Novus, what its history is, or how long it's been home to intelligent species. Could they have been watching us for years, just as they are now watching them? There are still entire regions of the planet they haven't explored, dark, foreboding areas where the pulse weakens and strange phenomena occur. These areas are silent, void of life, as if something has disrupted the balance. Could there be danger here? A natural threat? Or perhaps something more sinister? This discovery is just the beginning. Novus has shown us that we are not alone in the universe. Life exists elsewhere, and it may be far more complex, more beautiful, and more mysterious than they ever imagined. The implications of this discovery are profound. What will they learn from Novus? What can these life forms teach us about our own planet, our own existence? As they continue to explore Novus, the questions multiply. But one thing is clear: the universe is more alive than they ever dared to believe. And now the real work begins. If you want to stay updated on this incredible discovery, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more to uncover about Novus, and they're just scratching the surface. Until next time, keep looking to the stars.